What's going on, guys? My name is Tyler, and today I'm going to be bringing you some defensive Cypher setups for the new map Ascent. I also stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 12 PM Eastern, so go follow me over there. Link for that is in the description. First on A, I'll go over a few camera spots. I really like to put one just up here, and you can even get down here and get it further back.
Yes, this will do.
This spot watches the whole entire site, and it's generally not checked that high when people are pushing towards A. It's really high up there and hard to see, so they're not usually looking up that high. And it'll stay there the whole round too. If this gets overtaken and you have to retake, you'll be able to see a whole lot of the map with this camera. If you can make the jump over to this part of the bomb site, you can hit a couple more camera spots. There's one up here,
This is a nice spot.
which you'll be able to see them off of spawn if they're pushing that way. You can put the camera up here
It goes here.
for more vision on site. That's also kind of high up and also protected from when they're initially pushing up. You can also push it, and you can also and you can also put it up here,
That goes there.
which is the same idea. And you can get this one tighter too. You can get it down lower
Yes, this
to
will
see
do.
less of the point, but make it less visible to the enemies. Now for tripwires, if I'm holding A, there's a spot right here that I like to put it on. You need to aim for this brick and put it on the top half, but kind of in the middle. And you can see it on the right next to my right hand there. It goes really far
This
back
is a nice spot.
against the wall here. And when enemies are pushing up here, it's hard to shoot this side, and it's also really hard to shoot this side too without hitting the tripwire before you push through the door. So that's a tripwire that I like to use there. And then for here, you can just close that door if you wanted to. And you can either put the tripwire down here,
This goes here.
or you can put it here really low and close to the corner.
That goes there.
And both of these are practically impossible to shoot through before you trip them. And this one is, I'm not 100% sure if this one's too low to crouch under or not. But if you don't want to risk it, you can always use this one, which is a bit easier to shoot, but not as good. There are also one-way traps on this part of the map too. If you line up with the first, second, the third corner right here, with the part of the HUD that I'm going to zoom in on right here,
Yes, this should do.
you can land a tripwire or a trap up there. And if you're holding back here, you can see where the wall ends right there.
Cage
If this
trigger.
is tripped, it'll cover that whole side, and you'll be able to see enemies' feet from over there. And the closer they are, the harder time they'll have seeing you, and they won't even be able to see you if they're in the trap. So that's one-way trap for this part of the map. You can also line up a one-way trap on that box right here when you're in this corner. It's super hard to line up, and I'm not really consistent at it.
That goes there.
Oops. You can also land a one-way trap on that box right here from this corner over here. This one's really hard to line up, and I'm really not consistent with it at all. If you can find a consistent lineup, feel free to join my Discord server and share it with
This is a
everybody.
nice spot. Yes, this should do.
We're always looking for new
That goes
spots
there.
for all types of heroes in that server.
This is a nice spot.
But you can see kind of by where I have my C ability, my tripwire lined up with the wall. That's kind of what I'm using to judge where to aim this. And from here, from this part of the map,
Cage triggered.
you can use this, and the further back you are, the easier it is for you to see through, but you'll be able to see a whole bunch of the way through there. You can combine that one-way trap with a tripwire right over here on this plant. You can put it anywhere around here, and generally the closer to the wall, the better.
This goes here.
This is another one that's hard to shoot when you're facing this direction, so they're going to have to turn all the way around to shoot this end of the tripwire before they can push through. You will also have your tripwires over here, and you can put the tripwire here like I said
That
before.
goes there.
Or if you put it on this side and get it even lower,
This is a nice spot.
it'll attach to the ground instead of the wall, which makes that side pretty much impossible to shoot. And this side even harder because it's even lower, and it'll make it even harder to crouch under, which I still don't think you'll be able to do from the other spot. For tripwire spots up here, there's one in between over here
This goes here.
that you can throw to. And this one's really difficult to shoot out without tripping the wire as well. So that's another one you can use for up here to protect heaven. So that's pretty much my setup for A. There's plenty of tripwire spots and good camera spots all around this area of the map. There's also a couple of effective one-way traps, and the one over here is particularly easy to hit. For holding mid, usually I put my camera either all the way back here if I want it to be more difficult to shoot, because you can see a whole lot of your spawn if you're still alive and the round goes that late. If you have enemies passing through here, you'll be able to see that. And also for the start of the round, it sees all the way back towards their spawn in mid. You can put the camera up closer too, and up high to get more of a view up to this box over here, as opposed to putting it further back. It's safer back there, but you see less. So it's up to you which spot you want to use there. Those are my two preferred spots. I also like to trip right here because this is a pretty basic tripwire, and you can switch it up by putting it in other spots, but this is just a pre-round trip. And another place I like to put it is right here.
This goes here.
Because like the spots over there, this one's hard to shoot out without tripping the tripwire. They'll have to get a wall bang to shoot this out. And another way to switch up the tripwires is I'll use these two, or for a third switch up, I'll just trip over here or anywhere along B, just to help out whoever's defending B if I'm on mid. That way if they are getting pushed hard, the tripwire will slow them down a little bit and give me time to rotate. Another couple camera spots I like to use for mid.
I will find you.
One is just right here. You can do these from around this corner so you're not exposed. You can put it right here. And this, you don't see anything, but you'll be able to hear anybody pushing up through mid, so you'll be able to get the information there, and you can hear somewhat into B too. Or, from the same spot, you can jump instead and put the camera up higher, and then you'll be able to see all of the mid courtyard. And you'll get the same audible range too. For holding B, there's a couple other things I like to do. For tripwires, you can start by tripwiring over mid to cover your back a little bit more. It's the same spot as before. It's just such a great tripwire spot. It's hard to not do it sometimes. Other ones are just this one, very basic tripwire. They'll be expecting that. You don't really want to put tripwires in there too often because they can push that really quickly and see that tripwire before it disappears. So that's usually a good one there, just to slow them down a little bit. You can also trip all the way through this alleyway to slow them down towards there. Or if you want to have a much more passive tripwire, one that's maybe for later on in the round, you can put it over here. You could also fit a tripwire in these spots over here, just get a decent height. And this will prevent any rotations through your spawn towards A or mid. This is another tripwire that's hard to shoot out without wall banging it or without tripping it beforehand. As for one-way traps on B, there's one very good one for this part of the map. You need to do this before the round starts because it bounces off the wall. But if you look here on this part of the boat, this lower ridge meets the wall right here. And if you line up the specific part of your HUD with that part of the boat and the wall intersection,
this is a nice spot.
You can put a tripwire right there, which from this angle over here, it'll cover the whole door. And you'll be able to see feet through there. It's a little bit high, but usually enemies aren't going to be pushed all the way back, and they'll be pushing forward through this right around the corner. So it's a great one-way trap for holding B here, especially if you combine it with a tripwire. As for camera spots, there are some weird spots down here where you can just put these back in this sewer here.
That goes there.
It'll get you some vision onto sight, and it'll probably show people on the map too. You can do it over here too. Just look for the
this goes here.
Just aim to get it between this edge right here. It's the most wide open gap that there is. And again, same thing over here. You can see through it and get some vision on the site. Not the most effective camera spot though. There are some better ones. You can put some right on the edge of this wall here. If you go into it, it doesn't work. But if you get right on the edge, it will. It'll still face that way. But you'll be able to see into B main a little bit more.
That goes there.
You can do the same for over here. And you'll be able to see right off the spawn too if they're coming through that way. They will be able to shoot that out though. You could also wait for the round to start.
Let's get set up.
And you can put it back here, which is a little bit more protected by this wall, and you'll be able to see a little bit more once they push through. Or you could also jump through like that and put it up there, which is also really exposed. And you can get other spots too with that jump, but it's pretty exposed and not the best spot either. For cameras on site, you get really close to the edge over here. You can put one up on the back side of this wall. And if you get it right, sometimes you'll be able to get it right on the corner. And if you put it on this side of the wall, you'll be able to see mid too, but it's a little bit more exposed. Check out my camera spots video for all the camera spots that I found so far. There's a lot more for this site, but I'm not going to go over all of them in this video. So those are my basic defensive setups for A, mid, and B on the new map. Be sure to like the video and subscribe for more Valorant content. I'll be uploading more stuff in the coming weeks. I stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern, so go follow me over there. Link for that is in the description. The link for my Discord server is also in the description. Thanks again for watching, guys.